New book's out. New book's out. Hardback, paperback. On Amazon, it's live. It's been a long time coming. It's live though. We're here. We made it. Rooted in Rising, a compilation of Christian inspiration. We're in November of 2025. And I have been working on this book since March. And it's here. It's done. 180 pages, 7 chapters. I'm gonna make this a very short video because I just want to put this out just to tell you guys it's available. It's on Amazon. Probably the easiest way to find it would be to type in my name, Aaron Simpkins, AARON SIMPKINS. Aaron Simpkins, Rooted in Rising. Search it on Amazon. It'll pop right up. It should pop up. Or Rooted in Rising, Aaron Simpkins. But yeah, just type that in. You'll find the book. You also will see my other book, ABC Primer, right up there. So I wanted this to be a very interactive book. So there's QR codes all throughout it. And the reason for that, so like there's an example. The reason for that is this book is surface level. I want this to be a surface level introduction for others to learn about a lot of, to give them a starting guide towards maybe poets they never heard of, songs they never heard of, learn about people from church history that have a ton of their own work and did a ton of stuff for the kingdom. Learn about those people, learn about some art. Again, here, this for example, this page is suggestions for getting in the Word more. So I give you a QR code that links you directly to a podcast that actually I listen to every day, which is it's a reading of Scripture chronologically, daily, and it finishes the whole Bible in a year. And then right down here, the second one here on this page, the second QR code, you scan this, it'll pull up right away a printable a printable Bible in a year plan, reading plan. So I have the QR codes take you to a bunch of other tools. They link you right to websites. They link you to books. They link you to just other things for you to go deeper on your own. So I really just want this. I want this to be a tool in your tool belt as a Christian, as a believer, for you to go deeper, and also, give this to others so that they can be possibly introduced to the faith. But if they're a new believer, they can be introduced to a lot of people, a lot of works that have been done throughout history that will help them grow deeper in their faith. Or even just ways to study the Scripture, on a deeper level, and or even a seasoned believer, a seasoned veteran is going to get a lot out of this too, because there's things in here that maybe they haven't seen or they haven't heard, or and it's not, and I say that not to say it's my writing. A lot of my own original writing, this might sound weird, but stick with me. A lot of my own original writing is not in this. I did write an introduction to each chapter. I did write a gospel presentation at the very end. But other than that, it was me compiling. That's why it's a compilation. It's me compiling a lot of other people's works into one volume. My brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws, he wrote the foreword to the book. I highly suggest, scan this QR code, go follow his blog. He's been on the show a bunch of times on the podcast, the Ducati Report. So you'll see Evan Ducati. He's an amazing writer. That's why his writing in the book is the best writing in there. And, I write an introduction to give you like a brief thought process of mine of why I even put a book like this together. But then you just dive right in. You just dive right into it, and the another cool part of this was I was like, okay, I want all in one volume for people to use as a tool, and also to hand out as a tool for people to go deeper on their own, for people to get introduced, but also go deeper on their own. Okay, did that, check. I also wanted it to be interactive with a bunch of QR codes and things like that, because who doesn't have their phone on them at every second nowadays? So as soon as you pick up this book, you find something that's interesting, there's probably a QR code there where you could go a little deeper. Even on the songs, scan the QR, and you can listen to the instrumental to the song while you're reading the words and singing it. So you can go deeper, and it's interactive in that way. And then the the idea of, I loved that. I don't remember when this hit me, but Gustave Doré is an amazing artist, and from a few hundred years ago, and he has over 200 drawings of stories directly from scripture. So he would take a passage of scripture, and he would just draw a picture of it. And so what I did was I took uh, not all 200, but a lot. I took a lot of his pictures. You see here, right down here on the table of contents. Go on a journey of God's redemptive history laid out in Scripture by following the Gustave Doré drawings throughout this book, which are placed chronologically, showing the beginning to the end of the Bible. So, right here in the first chapter, you'll see creation, formation of Eve, and just chronologically, there's two things happening at the same time throughout this whole book at one time. There's two things happening. When you see a picture, it's a chronological progression through scripture from Doré's drawings, while at the same time you're reading the written material in the book. So I know that art is a very impactful way, and it's a very, well, yeah, impactful thing for people to get connected to the Lord and all. So I didn't want to, just have a bunch of words on pages. I wanted to have drawings that maybe, somebody reading this that connects more with a visual, connects more with an artwork than maybe the words. Like, here's a perfect example. The chapter on where I have all the quotes from the different people. That's a 100-page chapter. The reason it's 100 pages because I took 50 people. They each got one page of quotes, and then next to a page of quotes is artwork, is a picture. So there alone is 50 pictures of Doré's drawings. So I really just wanted to have a lot in here. Again, a a good tool in the toolbox of a Christian, and one stop shop. All in one volume. And I mentioned last year I had a number of people that I know, and that are awesome people, that agreed to get an early manuscript of the book and look it over and endorse it. So here, I have written endorsements in the beginning, but I also have QR codes to all their own works. So a lot of them are pastors, so you can see their sermons. Um, Dr. Gary Hill here, he's a Bible scholar. He's been working on a bunch of Bible projects. So you can scan his work here. My pastor, Dr. Ron, or Dr. uh, Pastor Ron Burrows, he's gonna think that's funny. So you can see, our church's YouTube channel there with all his preaching. And my buddy Steve Schramm down here, he's also an author. He's a podcaster. He has a bunch of work. You can see all his work here on his website. So I'm I'm just very happy about this. I'm I'm glad for what it's become, and I really just, my prayer is that God uses this for His glory, whether it sells 4 copies or 400,000. I don't want this at all to be an ego boost for me. I don't want it at all. This is not about me. This is not about, yay, Aaron put out another book. Aaron's doing this or that. It's not that. I To some people it seems like, I'm doing a lot. I don't feel like I'm doing a lot. I feel like I'm just doing God's work, and I'm trying to do things that point people to Him. And I think it would be awesome if every believer had a book out. If every believer was doing stuff, because if uh, imagine if we all were just doing more. Doesn't have to be a book, doesn't have to be a podcast, but imagine if every believer was just doing more for the glory of God. Uh, and that'd be a great thing. And so that's what I just hope this is. I hope this can be a great tool in the tool belt of a believer. I I'm very thankful to God for the learning that I've done through this process, and I'm just glad that it's out. I'm ready for this ride. Whatever happens with this ride, wherever this might take me, I'm excited, and I'm gonna ask you to order a copy on Amazon. Again, search Aaron Simpkins, Rooted in Rising. Rooted in Rising, a compilation of Christian inspiration. Order it on Amazon. I'm going to be giving a bunch of copies out, but I also would ask that, I ask for even if you get a free copy, go buy one for a friend and hand it to them, and let's just keep this ball rolling. This is not about me selling, having a successful book sale. This is not about my platform getting bigger, but this is again a tool that always points to Jesus. So that's why I want it to go out there. Yes, I do want it to be successful, but the reason I want it to be successful is because I want other people to know about the Lord and to grow in Him. So I thank you for your support. I thank you for sticking with me. I went a little longer than I had originally planned on, but I tend to do that. So thank you. Thank you again. And go purchase Rooted and Rising on Amazon. Let's get this thing going.